musical performance. So nice to see you. Thank you, Lia, and everyone for coming and being interested in our story. So this is Dawn. This is my birth father, my biological father, the other half, the man who invented me. And he's really the musician. We're gonna play some original music. Dawn was so generous to learn songs that I've written over the years on every instrument ever. And we're just gonna have a good time, prepare you for a brief moment of louder music than you'll probably expect, so just get ready for that part. And we're just, so if you have questions or want to hear more about our story or want more details, which we will do, there's a special part of the whole bit that's coming up. So I think without further ado,
I'm right where I belong, playing guitar and singing song. This road is all I know. I'll keep going, but I'm not going. People think that I just don't care. They don't know what's going on in here. Head full of dreams that could go anywhere. Guess you could say I'm up in the air. Folks, they pass on by straight ahead, this road is all I know. Singing songs, singing rights. People think that I just don't care, but they don't know what's going on in here. Head full of dreams that could go anywhere. Guess you could say I'm up in the air. Up in the air, where feet don't need no shoes. Up in the air, where the skies are gray or blue. Up in the air, there's nothing to lose. They don't know, but I do. 'Cause people think that I just don't care. Well, they don't know what's going on in here. Head full of dreams that could go anywhere. Guess you could say I'm up in the air. Want you to see deep in my heart, show you the truth and love from the start. One of these days, and it won't be long, my love won't be hidden in a love song. I said, don't you cry for me. I know not what I do. Don't you lie for me, 'cause I will lie for you. 'Cause you pick me up as I swallow my pride, and you teach me to love when love abides. One of these days they'll be gone. One of these days, and it won't be long. My love won't be hidden in a love song.
Really? Okay. All right, so we're gonna have a little fun now. Hey, I've got an idea. You ready, Dawn, for a cool idea? Let's switch. First found out I didn't know he was a musician. I kind of had a feeling, somewhere in this planet, if my birth father's still alive, this music bit has to come from somewhere. And I was not surprised, but super surprised. This next song was captured by an interesting filmmaker who I didn't know much about her at the time, but I had spent about 3 weeks, what I would call in the field. I had a private investigator help me find Don by means of where he would get his mail, because I knew through reading documents and things like that that he enjoyed being outdoors when not in the system, locked away for his choices and his lifestyle. So he either split time incarcerated, or he would be outside. For him, homelessness was freedom. So it was a challenge at first to figure out, well, how do I find him? At least I know he's alive, but how will I find him? So this private investigator gave me where he would get his mail through his social security number. So I totally stalked. I did. I stalked. And I'm pressing this and that. Okay. Thinking ahead, 10 steps. So I stalked and drove by and did some research on the coordinates. Looked up the gang activity, the drug activity, all of the above, sort of paid attention to the changes, the daylight, the nightlight, and just sort of see what I was getting myself into. But I still hadn't seen him yet or where he was. I just sort of did the CSI Miami bit. And then one day decided to go and knock on the dwelling the location where most people in the area that were connected to the drug life there would get their mail. So I went there, and Dawn wasn't there, but my uncle, my birth uncle, was. So what happened is that I knocked on the front, there was no one there, and then I backed away, and I was walking away like, oh, this is not gonna be the day, and then I saw a man sweeping on the side of the house, and I thought, well, if he's sweeping, he can't be that dangerous, like, right? So deductive reasoning had me approach slowly. So my legal name became Jenni Alpert through the foster care system. Well, Jenni part Jennifer was the foster care system. Adopted eventually at 4 to the Alperts. That's where the Alpert came in. So there was like the Jenni Alpert. But I always knew it was kind of a weird name, didn't really fit. And I knew that there was something else out there for me somehow. And when I got some legal paperwork later on in life, it read that I did have a birth name, and it was Cameron, which I really think is cool. So I, upon deciding to meet Dawn, I thought, he doesn't really know anything about the Jenni Alpert bit, and maybe it's better that he doesn't know that. Like, let's start with the beginning. So after meeting my uncle, who I was like, hey, you're not Dawn. He's like, no, who wants to know? And I was like, oh, I just was wondering, that means you're Jimmy, right? And I was just sort of like thinking, and then it occurred to me that I should really ask permission to show up in these people's lives, whatever it is that they're doing. Maybe are they going to be ready to meet like a family member? So he's like, who wants to know that I'm Jimmy? And then our eyes locked, and I thought, oh my God, I look so much like this guy. Like I grew up not looking like anyone, acting completely black sheep, and I thought, oh, it's just my personality. But no, like I was really totally in a different planet, for sure. And and so we locked eyes, and he goes, you're Mary Lou's kid, you're Dawn's daughter. And I said, yep, that's right, I am. And then I was like, so how would Dawn feel about meeting his daughter, like, his birth daughter, like, would that be cool? And he's like, come in. So I entered the dungeon, and thus began the first chapter of many. So I kept going around, hanging out, and then third time's a charm, and I got to meet Dawn. He likes to be outside. So there was a alley area where he had one of his setups there. So he would come and go for many reasons, he'll tell you later. And so, but this was the third time as a charm, so I show up, and there he was sleeping with this makeshift sort of tent. I was so impressed. It was like spread out everywhere, and stuff was, you could see everything he had, so it was like all there. It was organized out there. I was like, oh my God, we're so much alike, it's crazy. And so anyway, I got placed on a little, what is it called, the crate. I was sitting on a crate, and so then there my uncle goes, there you are, there's your birth father. There, this is Dawn. And I was like, hi Dawn, I'm Cami. He's like, God damn, you're beautiful. And that was the beginning of our second chapter. That was so nice of him to say that. So without further ado, we're gonna finish the music part, and then you can, actually there's one more thing I should say. So the 3 weeks after that, Dawn was living his life. I was living mine. At that time I was downtown LA. I was only a couple of metro stops away from Long Beach where he was. It was just wild. And I think that moment, it was like this connection. It was really amazing. And so I decided to go every day, sometimes 5 hours, sometimes 8 hours, like the days would just go. And I will say, because it's okay. So I will say that Dawn was still doing lots of drugs and living exactly how he wanted to live. And I was like, just keep doing it. Live how you want, like do it. But while you're doing it, you want to check out some cool stuff, like let's do some stuff. So we read children's books, then we upgraded to like cooler books. Then we went to the libraries, we went to museums, we went to music concerts. We went to Beit Shuva for some Shabbat thing. It was cool. We just went around, we took the bus, and we just got to do a bunch of cool stuff and play music. That's when I was like, oh, so I had to let you hear his real amazing talent. And we're gonna close with a few more songs, and then what you're gonna get to see after that, before a Q&A, is we were introduced to a filmmaker who was interested in getting to know us. And she started filming and interviewing us and then hiding in the bushes and like doing this whole thing. And so she did a really amazing job at capturing our relationship. The film is called Homeless, the soundtrack, and one of the things that Irene did that was pretty amazing is she tied all of the music in together as a narrative rather than the talking bit that you're seeing right now. And so that the lyrics of a lot of the songs, especially this one we're gonna play now, which is one of the featured songs in the film, I think it really sort of helps share our story.
Well, I've been waiting for love to come all my life to meet the one. Yes, I know it won't be long until then I'm home. Life's so sweet, the heart's so warm. Honesty in all your charm. Yes, I know it won't be long until then I'm on my own. So many times I've been sad and relieved, so wrong by so many of you. Love is kind, and I do find a way right here till the love is good. I have opened, yes I have, my soul. So when I find you, I'll be sure. Yes, I know it won't be long until then I'm on my So many times said I've been sad and blue, so wrong by so many of you. Love is kind, and I do find a way right here till the love is good. I've been waiting, yes I have, for love to come all my life to meet the one. Yes, I know it won't be long until then I'm on my own. It's like finding a simple mood when I feel a melody capture the inside of me, feeling that I belong in a different time of day. I'll follow the hours as they pass by. Suddenly I'm caught in the middle of nowhere, where the sun don't shine, the moon don't glow at all. It's between the break of day, new September dawn. I watch the seasons change even when clouds roll along, yeah. There's more of me to be a part of it, a cycle of evening rains and spinning stars in the sky. I want to lose control, to feel it vivid, but the dawn's too weak and I'm too strong to cry. Suddenly I'm caught in the middle of nowhere, Suddenly I'm caught in the middle of nowhere, where the sun don't shine, the moon don't glow at all. Between the break of day and you, September dawn, I watch the seasons change, even when clouds don't believe. Say shalom, Bimruma. Ooh, yeah, say shalom aleinu. Ve'al Israel vimru amen. Yeah, say shalom. Yeah, say shalom. Shalom aleinu. Ve'al Israel. Yeah, say shalom. Yeah, say shalom. Say shalom aleinu. Ve'al Israel. Oh, say shalom Bimroma. Ooh, yeah, say shalom aleinu. Ve'al Israel vimru amen.
I'm going to close with one more, but I wanted to throw that bit out there because that was to thank Don for being so open and so wonderful and so brave and so charming to not only take his time to learn my original music, but he actually knows all the Reformed Jewish service, and we can travel the world at any holiday, and it's just so exciting. And so we just wanted to add that little bit there for us, how peaceful it is to feel that peace moment together. So we're going to do one more. This song is called Take the Pain Away. It's the newest one in the repertoire. It started out being a jam between Dawn and I while the filmmakers were with us. And I was just making stuff up, and later she was like, so can you play that song you guys wrote? And I was like, what song? And then we had to write it. So, and this sort of tells the story of how we find healing.
In the middle of the night, in the middle of the day, take this pain away. In the middle of the night, in the middle of the day, somehow we're gonna take this pain away. Living in a world where things are going wrong, and something's gotta change. Never can be sure which way to run, as we're living with the pain. You take innocent people, you hurt innocent people and send them on their way. You take innocent people, you hurt innocent people, something's gotta change. In the middle of the blur, here we go, spinning out, out, out. Nothing stays the same. innocent people, and something's gotta change. You take innocent people, you hurt innocent people and send them on their way. You take innocent people, you hurt innocent people, and something's gotta change. Yeah, it's gonna change. In the middle of the night, in the middle of the day, take this pain away. In the middle of the night, in the middle of the day, somehow we're gonna make a change.
She is here today to moderate a Q&A with Dawn and Cami, and she will begin with an intro on her own connection and a few questions for them, following an opportunity to take some of your questions. Please keep them brief for either Cami or Dawn. Let's all welcome Miss Mayim Bialik.
Thank you so much. This is, I live in the Valley, the other part of the Jewish Los Angeles, but I know this synagogue very well, and it's really a pleasure to be here. This is really an honor. Thank you so much for having me. And you know, it's really funny. This is all, you know, this is all really, it's very surreal. Cami and I met in college. We met in a fun little class called the Holocaust in Literature. And I think it's safe to say I had never met anyone like this woman. And she both terrified me and thrilled me. She's a really, really big personality, and I thought I was a big personality. But she had, I don't think she had ever seen me on television, which was like a plus. She had no idea who I was, and I was like, you're my new best friend. So we met, we were like 19, 20, like somewhere in there. We must have been 19. I knew, you know, I sort of grew into this long friendship that we've had, knowing that she was adopted. And, you know, I know some other people who are adopted, but this was the closest friend I ever had who really could give me a window into what her life was like as someone who was adopted. And, you know, I met her mom and her brothers, and she definitely seemed like part of the family, but there was definitely something different and really exceptional about this woman. And you know, her music is really, really powerful, and I've followed her around to many, many bars and clubs where I otherwise never would have gone to, just to hear her music. Her voice is really, really powerful, and it's just really amazing, you know, to hear someone with that kind of voice and that kind of musical talent. And you know, our lives have kind of, you know, drifted together, drifted apart. I mean, we always kind of kept in touch-ish, and then pretty much, I don't want to say out of the blue, but she shared with me that she was starting to look for her birth father. And we knew a bit about her birth mother of blessed memory, but this is an unbelievable story. And I didn't see, were there kind of bios? Was there a thing out there that people were supposed to take? No. It's online. Okay, so you could see a little bit of it in the trailer, and I have seen the film, and it is unbelievable. This is this is the kind of story that only occurs in scripts, honestly. Cami literally, she hired a private investigator to ultimately find this man who gave her life. And there's a tremendously fascinating story to how she was placed in foster care, and the notion that these two people could come together and create what they have now created is really, really, it's unbelievable, and it's something so worthy of this documentary. And Don is not only a really, really skilled musician, he's also a phenomenal chess player. And I know this because he's beaten my son several times. But I'm going to invite you up. This is a story. Actually, Cami wrote this story up for my website in a very long. I think we did a 3-part series, and Don also contributed his reflections. I mean, I wanted to know everything, and the documentary. I really do hope that there will be an opportunity for us to screen it because it answers just about everything. Like, I wanted to know, what was that moment like when you look at this, when you see this person who you've never known. It's really powerful. So I'm going to invite both of you up. I have a few questions, and then I think we'll open it up to other people's questions.
Hello, everyone. My name's Don Logston. I'm Cami's father.